Okay, this is Frank and Ernest, take 2, because I wasn't very happy with how it went yesterday. So, Frank and Ernest by Alexandra Day. This is the greatest part of it. Do you see? This is Julia's book. I think she got it during a riff event. Reading is fun, but I'm not positive. But it was one of her favorites, and everyone in the family loved it, especially me. The first pages give you a menu with the terms that people use in short order cooking, like in a diner. You can see Adam's ale is water. So that means like Adam, the first man on earth, according to legend. And so his ale, like beer, is water. And all hot is a baked potato. And it goes on and on. And that's what we're going to learn about in this book. Frank and Ernest. There is the opening page, and it shows them the Sally's Diner, which is where everything takes place. So this is the yellow pages, and there's a circle in red around the ad that Frank and Ernest have placed. It says, need help? Do you need a vacation or to respond to a family emergency but don't know how you could leave your small business or store? We'll take care of it for you. We don't know everything, but we're willing to learn and to work hard. Call Frank and Ernest at Belmont 2671. Now, the yellow pages is where people used to advertise for services that they provided. So that's what Frank and Ernest have done, is they put an ad out in the yellow pages saying that they can help if you need emergency help. Their phone number is Belmont 2671. That used to be the way people identified their phone number. Every section in town had the same 3 numbers. So like, say our number is 483-8849. Maybe everybody living in Briarcliff, their number would start with 483. So I would say Briarcliff 8849 as my phone number. That's just the way we used to do it in the olden days. I'll only be gone 3 days, but my diner is very important to me. I hope you can handle it. Don't worry, Mrs. Miller. We will take as good care of it as you would. So Mrs. Miller has to go away for 3 days, and Frank and Ernest are going to run her diner. They're looking at things in her office, and Frank says, "Look here, Ernest. Diners have a language of their own, and we will need to learn it before we can wait on people." Ooh, boy, so they've got a lot of studying to do before they start. Then they show up at the diner. It's really beautiful, Frank. It will be great fun doing this job, but I think it will also be a huge challenge. So they're going to be learning a lot. So the first order comes in. Frank is the bear. Ernest is the elephant. So Ernest is getting an order from somebody at the counter. Joe and Jack, it kind of looks like Hoskins Drugstore, doesn't it? The counter there. Okay, so the man says, "I'll take a hamburger with lettuce, tomato, and an onion." So then Ernest says to Frank, "Hey, Frank, burn one, take it through the garden, and pin a rose on it." That means make a hamburger, put lettuce and tomato on it, and then put an onion. That's what he calls pin a rose on it. And look at that. He actually has a real safety pin holding the onion on the top of the bun. The next person comes up to the counter and says, "I'd like a piece of apple pie and a glass of milk, please." So then the order he calls out is, "Eve with a lid and moo juice, Ernest." So Eve with a lid is like apple, like Adam and Eve have apples, an apple pie with a top on it, a lid, and moo juice is milk. So there she gets it. The next order comes in, and it's a mom and her little boy. "A hot dog with ketchup for Jimmy and a serving of Jell-O for me, if you please." So then Ernest says, "Paint a bow wow red, Frank, and I need a nervous pudding." So the bow wow is the hot dog. Paint it red means put ketchup on it. And the nervous pudding is Jell-O because it shakes. It shakes like it's nervous. So there they get a hot dog with ketchup and some Jell-O. The end of their first day. Frank says, "Well, Ernest, we made it through the first day." I think they did a good job, don't you? So then the next day, the second day, the first order comes in. A man says, "Ham with a potato and cabbage, please." "Hey, Ernest, Noah's boy with Murphy carrying a wreath." So the ham must be Noah's boy. The Murphy is a potato, and look at how Ernest is grabbing the potato with a mitt, using his trunk, and then they put cabbage around it, and that is the wreath. Noah's boy with Murphy carrying a wreath. The next order comes in. "Give me a vanilla milkshake with an egg in it to go." So Frank calls out, "Would you give me a hand, Ernest? I need a white cow, make it cackle, and let it walk." That means a vanilla milkshake, a white cow, make it cackle, that's the egg, and let it walk, it's put in a to-go cup. The next order comes in. "I'll take pancakes with maple syrup and coffee with cream and sugar." So then the order to Frank is a stack with Vermont and a blonde with sand. So a stack is pancakes, and so he's making the pancakes. With Vermont means he put maple syrup on it because that's where maple syrup comes from. And then, so there's a stack of pancakes with maple syrup on top of it, and a blonde is a cup of coffee with cream in it. With sand means put sugar in it, because sugar kind of looks like sand, right? So then that's the end of the second day. I think we're getting better at this, Ernest. I think they are too. They're really getting good, aren't they? So they come in their third day, the very last day. "May I have an English muffin with butter and a cup of black coffee, please?" So Frank says to Ernest, "Burn the British, cow to cover, and draw one in the dark." So the British is an English muffin. Burning it means to toast it. Cover it with a cow to cover means butter on top of it. And draw one in the dark is a cup of black coffee. So there's her order. This one is my favorite. "A tuna sandwich on toast, please, and a Dr. Pepper with the ice left out." So then Frank calls out to Ernest, "Ernest, I need a radio sandwich down and an MD hold the hail." Which a radio sandwich is what he's calling a tuna sandwich, because you tune a radio. And an MD is what he's calling a Dr. Pepper. Hold the hail means put the ice on the side. So there's her order, a tuna sandwich with Dr. Pepper with ice on the side. And look, they put olives. They've sliced olives to make the tuna sandwich, give it an eye. It's shaped like a fish. Pretty cool, huh? The next order. I'd like 2 scrambled eggs on toast and a cup of tea with lemon, please. So Ernest calls it out to Frank. Adam and Eve on a raft, wreck 'em, and a spot with a twist. So Adam and Eve is eggs. On a raft is on a piece of toast that they've grilled on this little grill. Wreck 'em means to scramble them when you're making the eggs. And a spot with a twist is a cup of hot tea with lemon on the side. So there she has it. Scrambled eggs on toast with a cup of tea with lemon. So the end of that day, well, we did it. They finished their 3rd day. So then the next day, Mrs. Miller comes in and she says, "Gentlemen, the place looks beautiful, and I've heard nothing but good things from my friends who ate here in the last few days. You did a fine job, and I'll recommend your services to everyone I know." So there they are leaving. They're walking away from Sally's Diner to go find another job helping somebody in an emergency. And then we have another page of terms or words that are short order labels for food. Short order means just like what Frank and Ernest were doing. You're standing behind a counter taking an order and then yelling it back to the cook who's doing it right there and then on the side. So one of them here is rectin fruit. That's scrambled eggs. And remember, a raft, that's a piece of toast. So, and then there's lots of different names for orange juice. One of them is Sunkiss. So tomorrow morning for breakfast, you could say, "Hey, Mom and Dad, I want hen fruit on a raft wrecked with a glass of Sunkiss." Or maybe just hen fruit wrecked on a raft with Sunkiss. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? So that's the end of that book. I hope you liked it, and I hope this edition is better than yesterday's. I hope you like Tech 2 better. Tomorrow, we're reading Chickens Aren't the Only Ones by Ruth Heller. So I'll see you tomorrow for story time. Blythe, Evie, Joe, Jack, Callum, and Cadence, I love you all. Have fun. Bye-bye.